Hey everybody, how are you guys doing this evening? Or today or tonight? Whenever you're listening to this. Me personally, I'm not doing too bad. I know these are very anxious times for everybody, and I just want to encourage everyone not to walk in fear. Do not let these people or these powers that be make you walk in fear. It's ridiculous what they are trying to do to this country, and we just need to wake as many people up as we can. Not with I told you so's or anything like that, but just ask them questions, use the Socratic method to get them to where you want them to be, where they need to be. Because this election really is about America being America again, or is China going to own America through the Bidens? Because with all this stuff with Hunter Biden coming out, all those pictures, just like Rudy Giuliani said, the Chinese Communist Party have had these photographs, and probably a lot worse photographs, for a long time blackmailing the Bidens. Then you just have to ask yourself, how many more Democrats or Republicans, just government in general, how many of them that are acting like China is not the problem, and they say that Russia is the problem, how many of those are blackmailed by the CCP? How many of them? That's scary, folks. I didn't think I would ever live to see this stuff, but here we are. We're in the belly of the beast. We could literally lose America in this upcoming election. In 14 days, I think it is. Let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. Crooked Joe Biden wins, and we are done. This country's done. Your gun rights are gone. Your freedom is gone. It's just insane. On a higher note, though, the support for President Trump is amazing. I have never seen this much excitement and enthusiasm and spark in an election for any president since I have been alive. Now, I'm only 26 years old, and I even remember voting for Obama the second time, or wanting to. I don't even remember if I voted or not, to be honest, but I wanted to. And I had no idea about anything when it came to politics. And now, knowing all that I know about how the media pretty much was Obama's best friend through the whole thing, and they covered everything up for him, and I think it all has to do with blackmail, to be honest. I think that whoever has this blackmail not only has it on all of these politicians, but also the members of the media, and they're the ones pulling the strings way up top. And they don't have it on Trump. They don't have any blackmail on Trump or his family, and you can actually tell a lot about a man through his kids and how they are. And when you look at Don Jr. and Hunter Biden, there's no comparison. I will put that out there. I do know that we are seeing a lot more violence than normal. Actually, it's just plumb crazy. And they are trying to lay it off on Trump supporters, which is not true. There hasn't been, that I can recall, there hasn't been one violent action from any Trump supporter unless they were defending themselves from being beaten by a mob. It's just ridiculous. It really is. So we have to be the news now. We have to break the fake news spell over everyone. When you think of sorcery and you think of magic because of how we were programmed, you think of all this crazy glitter and glamour stuff, and it's not. The fake news is magic. That is a spell. When they can make you believe something that isn't true, that is magic. That is a spell. That is sorcery. Anyhow, it's just came to the point to where we either stand up, fight for what we believe in, take a stand, draw a line in the sand, whatever you want to call it. We have to stand up. Now, they aren't going to go down easy or just give up their power. I mean, would you, if you were in their shoes? Hell no. I mean, Joe Biden can't even get any supporters to come to his events, so he's closing himself off. He won't answer questions. They won't even ask him questions about all this stuff. And I just want you guys to really let it sink in when you think about the Chinese Communist Party having all these photos and stuff of Hunter Biden for years and years. Think of how much they have gotten away with. Think of how much they are ripping us off. I don't think many of you realize how rich and wealthy we all could be if we would get these corrupt bastards out of our government. We got to get rid of the FBI and the CIA and all these corrupt organizations, splinter them into 1,000 pieces and scatter them to the wind, I think is what JFK said. We need to do that. We really do. We have to get good people in government, like all of you listeners, and our neighbors, and the people we know, and put term limits in Congress. Because when you look at Joe Biden, when you look at Nancy Pelosi, when you look at Dianne Feinstein, I mean, she had a Chinese spy driving for her for over 20 years, folks. Come on now. It's so obvious what's going on. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. So this story here with the liberal groups caught posting fake photos online so they can claim that the Hunter Biden stories recently uncovered are conspiracies. So this is where the whole deep fake or whatever comes into play, and they are going to use it heavily. I bet my ass on it. You just can't let them fool you. You can't let them fool you. We already know who they are. We already know a lot of what we need to know. And we just got to hammer down and do what we know we need to. It's not as hard as what we think it could be, but it's not as easy as well. It's easier said than done, I guess you could say. But apparently there's a lot of bad stuff on these laptops. A lot of bad stuff from what I hear. From what I'm seeing, and this is mostly second-hand information, but from what I'm seeing, everyone who's looked at this laptop are saying there is a bunch of pretty much rape and torture type stuff that Hunter is committing against these Chinese young girls. I don't know if that's true, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And right here, even this is what the FBI is all about. They create a crime and then they arrest the people and act like heroes, acting like they saved the day. It's what they've been about for years. Which makes me sick. And then when it comes to something like Hunter Biden, they have had his laptop for over a year, I think. Since December, guys, they've had this laptop and all this stuff that would have exonerated President Trump through all of that impeachment junk. But they didn't put it out there because they hate him. Anyways, I'm going to hop off here, guys, and put my head down and try to get you guys some more content, because all of my subscriptions that I was subscribed to got deleted recently, and it's a bunch of bullshit. It shouldn't have happened. And Section 230, something has to get done. Where are you, Attorney General Barr? Where are you? Alright, guys, so just remember to keep your head up and not to walk in fear, that God has your back. Peace.